story of the president. In 2025, I hear the president has gone out 15 times. And it speaks volumes. I'm not saying the president doesn't have a right to go on his holidays. France and the UK, as usual. Some people are saying, oh, it might be medical related. The president has not said anything about medical. We have to state that. He's saying he's going on a 10-day working leave. But just recently, he was in St. Lucia. Just recently, he was in Japan. Just recently, he was in Brazil. All of this is at a great cost to taxpayers. Because, look at it. The president travels around a lot. Taxpayers have to pay for it. We incur the cost of the new jets. But next year, January, hope you know that there's going to be 5% tax on crude refined in this country. That might also jack up your pump price. Even the CNG that they said there was a subsidy on for some time, they said they've now removed subsidy on the CNG. The CNG was supposed to be that tool to cushion the effect of high price of petrol. CNG is now going for about 384 something for one SCM of CNG today. That's even if you get it to buy. So when you see the president flying around at the expense of taxpayers' money, the question you ask is, what does this government even do to make the people feel like they understand the pain we are going through at a point in time? To fly that jet, to buy aviation fuel, to service the jet while it's away, for parking fees, all those things are not cheap. And it's going to be gone again for 10 working days, which is 2 weeks. Some people are also going to make the argument, oh, it's not ceded power. Anyway, we've long passed that level because we know the 21-day lacuna definitely will always be there. And I say the 21-day lacuna deliberately because they will act as, oh, if it's not up to 21 days, there's no reason to cede power. But that's the way we roll in Nigeria. If you are at the top, you have a field day. President Jonathan saying people betrayed him. Yes, that's the order of politics. But in also praising Jonathan, let's not also act as if Jonathan is a saint. Because we are so quick to say, okay, people like Amechi fought against him. Do we also balance this danger of the single story by asking, what did he do in turn with Amechi? Because the likes of Nyesom Wike, that has a strong grip on power and things today, these were the tools that Jonathan used to checkmate Amechi in his own state. We all remembered what Jonathan... So it wasn't that when Amechi started the betrayal, Jonathan was just folding his hands and looking and saying, no, we are letting things pan out. No, he too was acting. And a lot of things transpired in Rivers State. And the other people that betrayed him that are incumbent today, they too were fighting for their political survival. Because you see, Nigerians forget in the grand scheme of things, all of this is a game for them. At some point, documents have been released to show that the government of Goodluck Jonathan actually did try taking President Tinubu to court over the depositions of his certificates and all of those things. But that case was withdrawn. So people that said, oh, the likes of Tinubu, yes, they supported Jonathan in the, I think, 2011 elections. Afterwards, they went against him. They had to fight for their own political lives too. Is it justified? You be the judge of that. The North too felt, oh, it's time for power to come. Because a lot of them too must have calculated that if Jonathan had done another 4 years, and plus the 2 years he had done before, it would have been 8 years cumulatively after the 4 years he had done. If he had won in 2015, he would have served 10 years. So all of this in the end, I think Nigerian people too should also understand it's a game. And Jonathan too, did also play the game. It's just that he didn't favor him in the end. The sad part about Nigerian politics is winner takes it all. So yes, he can say they betrayed him. Yes, betrayal is the name of the game. But he too did not sit lying low. He did some things. In the end, he didn't emerge. That's just it. It's just part of the game. And what a rightful place to say this at a place where his very close ally and friend Michael Gyadome was, because Michael Gyadome was strongly loyal to Goodluck Jonathan. And if you remember the antecedents, even when they were both deputies back in the days, they did, someone up a very good rapport. Right. I think this debacle as regards the military and payment is because they've not affected the new minimum wage. And like they said there were 2 charts that were drawn that all they're soliciting for is to be paid the new minimum wage. So we'd like the authorities at DHQ, not just to say that, your protests are disrupting things and all of that, government functions, please go ahead to pay them. You know why I say this? Because of the optics. Because this is the same military that the police always looks at to make a case that, we want our scheme to be defined benefit. This contributory pension scheme is not working for us. Military, they hardly have any squabbles and everything. But they too are having back and forth now as regards payment and implementation of the new minimum wage. And I think this is something that they should look at. These people have worked so hard for this country, and they deserve our respect and our support. And we stand by these officers, honestly. I particularly stand by them because I feel that they are deserving of their wage. As regards the second...
President Tinubu going on working leave. Now, in April 2025, President Tinubu traveled to the same France and UK for 19 days. Now they say he's going for another 10 days. Now he has just returned from a 12-day trip to Japan and Brazil. And in between, he stopped over in Dubai on his way to Japan. He stopped over in Los Angeles on his way to Brazil. However, a president is entitled to work and live. Okay? We cannot argue with that. But when he was living in Brazil, I had jokingly written on the back page of this thing that I hope that the president will not stop over in France and in UK to say that he has some urgent business. So it's just confirmed our suspicion that he has something that he goes to France to pick. He has something in UK that he goes to pick. But they say it's working leave. And Mr. Ononuga also says it is part of his annual leave. So as president, it's part of his prerogative to go on official visits, to go on state visit, to go on working leave, to go on official leave. We just hope that this will not be extended beyond the measure. And that the work that the president is doing there, it will be adequately reported to us for our assessment as major stakeholders. Finally, as for the soldiers, the principle that we have always defended is that pensioners deserve to be properly treated. The people who are in charge of defense headquarters today must remember that tomorrow they too will become pensioners. And it is how you treat your vulnerable, disadvantaged persons in society that will measure the integrity of that society. And I think that these retired soldiers, they have a case, just as retired policemen have a case. Nigerians have, short memories. They treat people once they leave the desk, they treat them shabbily, forgetting that they too will become pensioners tomorrow. Absolutely. That's the morality for the defense headquarters. Absolutely.
Let me talk about President Tinubu. I often say whenever we hear about another holiday trip to France or the UK, and I know that you might say, oh, he has a right. I have to mention that, a right to choose wherever he wants to go on holiday. However, I do think that as the chief marketer of Nigeria, that he positions himself as, he will make a big statement. If one of those leaves, he spends it in Nigeria, and I can suggest a few places to him, whether it be in Akwa Ibom, whether he decides to go to Bauchi, or whether he decides to come home to Lagos, or even go to Ekiti Warm Springs. There are many places that we can build, like Camp David, as it were, Warm Springs, many places, 1 or 2 days. It speaks a lot. We should not take it as normal that every time the president has to go to clear his head, he has to fly abroad. It would also cost us less if he stays back home. But all the
Now let's take reactions to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 10-day visit to Europe, with stops in both France and the United Kingdom. President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, made the announcement in a post on X saying that the president departed Abuja on September 4th to commence a working vacation in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. He added that after the trip, the president will return to the country. The president was accompanied to the airport in Abuja by a delegation that included the governors of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and ministers. His latest trip comes just 2 weeks after his return from Japan and Brazil for official state visits, while also making stops in Dubai and Los Angeles during that tour. Well, let's take some reactions. I'd like to pull this reaction, and this person detailed. It was a lengthy tweet, and I'll start. I just had to take some excerpts from that tweet. And he wrote, he was responding to Ononuga's post on X. He wrote, Mr. Ononuga, thank you for the update that our president is jetting off again for accountability. Nigerians deserve clarity that matches the office you speak for. First, your statement is vague. What exactly will the president do in France and the United Kingdom during this 10-day vacation? Please publish a basic itinerary with objectives, name counterparts, and expected deliverables. That is standard practice when presidential travel is framed as working time. It also helps the public track outcomes, as seen when Paris visits produced specific agreements last year. Second, context matters. The president has traveled to France frequently since 29 May 2023. By 12 April 2025, credible reporting had already counted at least 8 separate visits, totally no fewer than 59 days in France. There have been further European trips since then. Please confirm the updated count. Third, the president has also visited the United Kingdom several times in office. The record shows a private stop in London in June 2023, a Buckingham Palace meeting in September 2024, a 2-week leave in October 2024, which included onward travel to Paris. Then meetings in London in April 2025 before returning to Abuja. Please give the official tally to date. Fourthly, there are persistent rumors that the president uses France and the UK for medical attention. Your office has repeatedly denied this, ICIR, and other outlets have reported concerns which you and your colleagues dismissed as baseless. Given the public interest, it would be helpful to address this issue transparently rather than simply denying it. A clear medical travel policy for the presidency would settle speculation. Well, the ex-user went on to talk about Section 145 of the Constitution, which requires the president to enable the vice president act on his behalf when on vacation. Finally, he wrote, Nigeria is not a private enterprise. The president holds authority in trust. Transparency is the price of that trust. If this is a working vacation, show the work and the outcomes. If it is personal, follow the Constitution and let the vice president act. Anything less weakens credibility and fuels the very rumors your office says are false. Put the facts on the record and explain plainly why you cannot. Rufai, I saw you nodding your head a lot of,
yes.
I think that he was quite apt in,
No, it was
in all of the details that he
apt in all of the details.
Really.
And that's the question. And see, Oji, that's why we keep saying it is sad for a country that wants to grow, that thinks about accountability, and we don't have the medical records of the president. Other countries, for God's sake, do show us the medical records of the president. Who was the African president that died recently that told the people that he was going for a medical situation before he passed? I think it was President Gigomp of, Namibia. He was upfront with the people. So, if for anything,
yes,
and those that keep arguing that his medical records are private, please, with due respect, if President Tinubu wanted to keep anything about his life private, he shouldn't have run for president in the first place. As long as he's our president, we have a right to ask and inquire.
This is it.
This France, almost every time. France, UK, with taxpayers' money. This year, God knows how many times he's gone.
100% I agree with you.
And that's why when Ayo was talking, the president should, if it's local tourism, it's not tourism.
No, but the explanation was quite vague.
I'm going by what the
it's not tourism. That's why they always, it was when we said we must demand accountability, they now showed us a picture of President Tinubu meeting the king in London then. That's why they say that was the only thing he was doing and working.
Yeah.
We can't keep having this visit without even knowing what is going on there.
Transparency.
There's no big deal.
Yes, no big deal.
If there's a medical situation, release it. If there's a medical report, let us see it. If there's none, show us.
Everyday France.
And for that Section 145 Ayo, they will not respond to that because over the years they've already put that lacuna in. They will say if it's not up to 21 days threshold, that you don't need to hand over and all of that. That's the kind of.
Right.
And you know why I'm saying this?
Yes, why?
President Buhari did the same. He left for months.
But President Buhari was 6 months at a time.
At a time.
And we keep
Unforgivable.
So
Hold on. Let me take this tweet and I'll come to you. Another Twitter and extra, because this story is quite viral. It's quite shocking at the point. At the same time, only because he just came back. Well, this person on X wrote, at a time when hunger, unemployment, insecurity, poor health care, fuel crisis, and unbearable inflation are killing Nigerians daily, a president has no business running abroad for vacation. True leadership means staying home, facing the problems head on, and sharing in the suffering of the people you govern. Go ahead.
Let me even start from the beginning. Yes. Before he became president, the president had been going to France. So we already saw the writings on the wall, that when he does become president, he might very likely be going on these trips. Recall that before his inauguration as president in 2023, he was away in France for 34 days. In fact, what they said at the time was that he went to go and plan the transition, proper transition committee. And we see a lot of people going to France as the new capital of Nigeria because now, they almost put Aso Rock extension in France at the time. So what we're seeing now is what we already had an indication of before he became president. And there were speculations even at that time on the status of his health and whether or not he should declare. And this is where citizenship, active citizenship comes into play. As to the people that we elect into office, to what extent do we demand of them in order for us to repose our trust in them to lead us as a people? Are we satisfied with not knowing their records, or do we make it a condition to the extent that we make it as part of a constitutional provision that anyone who wants to lead us as a nation must declare his health status? I say this because there's an implication for you as a taxpayer. Every time the president goes out of town, guess who's footing most of his bills? We, the Nigerian people. And so you who haven't had enough money, or you don't have enough money to know where your next meal is coming from, have part of your Commonwealth being spent to maintain the health and lifestyle of a public official abroad. Beyond that, and I still maintain this with that, if on the surface of things, what Mr. Bayo Onanuga says he's going to do is annual vacation. And to be fair to him, he is entitled to annual vacation, and we cannot legislate as to where he chooses to go on annual vacation. We can raise questions around why the destination of France and the United Kingdom so frequently. But when it has to do with his vacation that is stipulated as part of his contract, he can go anywhere he wants to. But I did mention that as chief marketer of Nigeria, there are nice places in Nigeria that even for the optics, he can choose to go for 1 week. 5 days and then spend the rest abroad. Why can't he not go to, I talk about Yankari Game Reserve. You know what that happens? What happens is that it brings in revenue. Yeah. It means infrastructure development will be in those areas. If the president chooses to go to these places, he can visit the Kano Walls. He can go to Yankari Games Reserve. He can go to Indore Hills in Ondo State. He can come to Lagos here and go to Nikki Art Gallery or go to the beach. There's so many beachfronts. But let me just warn Nigerians. He's going to United Nations General Assembly this month. So let me just prep you that he's going to be away again to the United States of America.
Let's not bust in, you know, talking about, the president has gone to France, he has gone to UK. It's the frequency of it that people are concerned about. The last time he went to the same France and UK, he spent 19 days. He came back just before 2 days. Now they say he's going for 10 days. Now, Mr. Onanuga says he's going on a working leave. He didn't say he's going for medical reasons. So that medical reasons that people are talking about is speculative, because that's not what he has said. However, transparency and accountability is important. I had commented on this morning. I only want to add a footnote. Now, I've seen a picture of when the president was leaving.
Some governors, I don't know why they're not playing the
went there to see him off. Now, some of those governors, I don't want to embarrass them.
Yes.
When he was returning a week ago from Brazil, they were at the airport to receive him. Look, people should call their governors to account. If they have no job in their states, they should stop going to
airports
airport to receive president.
Shake hands.
To see president in an utter display of sycophancy. Don't they have jobs in their states? And some of them go to this Abuja just to go, goodbye, sir. Welcome, sir. What kind of governors are these?
All right. Well, all right, Dr. Mati, well said. We need transparency. That really is the sum up of this conversation. Well done, you all. Thank you very much for that.
This is what you get now. You see? This is what you get when you allow people who does not have business with public offices to come in. This is what this is the result. Exactly what Tinubu is doing. It's like Nigeria. We live in a secret society, a secret court where you do not need to know about your president's state of health. You don't need to know about his health. It's only in Nigeria you see it. It's happening. Other countries, and it's not happening. You know, he is a president, number one man in the country. We need questions. We need to ask a question. He needs to be transparent. We need to know everything about this man. He's a private citizen. He's a public. So we have rights. Citizens have rights to know. But yeah, in Nigeria, no. Just come on the last time Donald Trump in America. It was at one event, they cited his leg, that his leg was swollen. There were a lot of different theories, like different people were saying different things, that this is it, this is that. We were not sure. He has to go to the hospital. They went to the hospital. They did all the scanning, all everything they needed to do to know what truly happened. What was it? Listen. Then after that, the result came out. A president, somebody from president like this, Obayo or Nanuga, he came. The lady came. National television, he explained the detail. This is the hospital they went to. This is the scan. This is the scan. This is the problem. This is the problem. This is it. Donald Trump is very okay. The result was there. Confirmed from the hospital. He read it out to the public, to the whole world to see. But no, you have no right to know his president's state of health. Nobody they talk say person not is sick now. But they don't tell you before since president is sick. No, every time he travels, nobody ever said to you that he's sick. He travel, he's on a checkup. No. But you and I know every time he travels to do, especially France, is for medical reasons. This is the result. This is the result. For this year now, you could count how many times he has traveled out of this country. He's not a leisure. He not choose leisure over the problem in the country, the problem that he has created. He choose leisure over it. He's not touring around the country as if the work of a president is just to travel. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Now they are not calling you a vacation president. You imagine. What are you looking for? Are you looking for foreign investors? Do you need to go and beg foreigners to come to your country? I know this one, they say you are on a working vacation. 10 days working vacation, go to France and go to the UK. What is there that you are looking for? Just tell us you are going for medical treatment. Yeah, you never said that, but yeah, of course. What is there? You just come to give Nigerians problem, make them talk. The way people are talking about this government, if it is for a positive reasons, it could have been better. This country would have been rejoicing. If you like, go 1 year holiday. Nobody cares. So the country is good. But it's for bad reasons, negative reasons. They make people talking about this government from day one. This man comes into power. This country has never no peace. This country has never no peace. Has never seen any form of feel the effect of good governance. No, it just be problem upon problem. And whenever president makes statement, people have to clarify to Nigerians what he's saying, because what he say does not relate or it does not to the realities on ground. It becomes a problem. Well, from day one. Is this what you use all your 30 years on air to plan on becoming a president? If this is what you have in mind in store when you become the president, this is what you are going to do. It's a useless planning. You don't have any planning. You don't have any idea of what to do with the power. This is not how to run a country. No country runs like this that they will succeed. No, their citizens will not even allow you. How? The citizen will not allow you. But because we live in a country that does not care, that everything goes, now you're afraid to do anything. Oppositions are not doing enough. The way you guys did during the time of Jonathan, protest upon protest, bashing Jonathan at that time, that young man. Now all of them, now they are regretting of what they did against that young man. But Tinubu is not regretting because he got what he wanted. Is this hard to run? What do you do? Is there anything pinching you? Is that so? Is there anything itching you in that so that you cannot sit down and face the reality? Look at the insecurity in the north. Security is the order of the day. They are even begging you to declare a state of emergency. As of yesterday, a bit 2 days ago, people still lost their lives. For what? Why do we have a president that does not care? And things are going on like this. This is a president who does not care, who does not feel the impact of the people, who does not care about the welfare of the people that he's looking after. No sympathy. No. This is too much. This is the worst thing that ever happened to Nigeria, and it should never happen again. 2027. Nigerians need to use everything they have to make sure they get this man out of office, which is very important. Yes, because we can't continue to complain like this again. How we going to complain about the fuel price? We're going to complain about this, about that. Remember, next year, January, according to them, you are going to start paying tax, and 5% of fuel, 5% tax of every liters of fuel that you buy. Is that how to run the government? You just come to tax Nigerians, you sucking them dry. You don't care if they are working, where they are going to get the money to even buy the fare. Then you still tax them. Even if your brother, your sister lives in abroad, oh, you just feel okay, you don't have money, you are complaining, you just send something for you to follow up for your upkeeping, and because you are not working, they still ask you to, they will still tax you for that, for coming to the filling station to buy fare. For what purpose? So what is government giving back to us that we have to pay this amount of money tax? Is it not when you are working, they expect you to pay tax? No, there's no problem. When you work, your country is secure, your country is safe, you can go do your business, you can go about do your businesses, they give you electricity to do all those things. Then they're asking you to pay all those things. You know that, okay, what you are doing is what you are going to get money. What you're doing is generating money for you to pay your bills, to pay your tax. Or in the situation whereby, no, you're not doing nothing. Government is not providing anything for you. They are just interested. They don't care where you are going to get your money. You do all the money, get the money, then pay back to the government. This is not how to run the country, to be honest. This is not how to run the country. No. This is somebody who does not have idea of economy, what he's even doing, that is leading, causing more problems, failed policies. This is it. If you have to rate this administration, well, how many percentage are you going to rate them? In terms of insecurity, what are you going to rate them? In terms of insecurity, in terms of performances, in terms of GDP, that okay, GDP is good. How much? No. We are still very low. Are you talking about healthcare? Talking about schools? Which area this government has improved over the last 2 years that you could say, okay, because of this government, what we used to have before, is this government is now better than? No. They say, they keep telling us that they are still working, they are working on it, things are getting better without data, without statistics to back up your claims. This is not how to run the government. No, but no country runs like this, that the citizens will survive it. Come on. The problem now, people do not even have the money to travel. That's why you see a lot of people, they are stranded in the country. Nothing is going on. A lot of people want to jackpot, they don't even have the money to jackpot. How much? Your salary is 70,000 naira. To do an international passport is now 100k. 64 pages is not 200k. For 32 pages, not 100k. For who does that? These are things that were 15,000 when Buhari was still there over 2 years ago. 32 was still 15,000. If you want to do 64, was 32,000 there. Now suddenly jumped to 200k, 100k. For what reasons? In less than 2 years, has your salary increased to this level of percentage? The answer is no. Is government just come to stress Nigerians to increase goods and services, to increase everything? For what? In the name of reforms that is not working? And Nigeria is a law of gravity. Whatever goes or continue to go up, you are not expecting them to come down. Wow. No, I'm just so angry with this government. Seriously. And this is not because I do not have issues with the president, with personal issues with him. I have issues with the way he's running the country. I have issues with his policies that is not yielding anything good to the Nigerians. That's what we are angry about, not his person. This is what you get when people who does not qualify for public offices, you allow them to come in. They don't care. Anyways, please share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel.